time do you guys spend per hire? Does anybody know? It's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of resources go into the hiring process. And that's why I encourage people that if this is not your core business, to engage somebody that is their core business. Even if it's not me, I encourage you to reach out to somebody that does that for a living. We provide temporary, temp to permanent, direct hire, contingent workers, the same types of services that you'll get from most other staffing agencies. These are some of the examples that PSCD fills. Everything from accountants to data entry, those types of positions. So if there's not something up there that you're looking for, we'll certainly still look to find it, but you can't put every job in the world up there. But it's all office type staffing. These are some of our typical clients at the moment. We have a couple accounting firms, some financial institutes, legal firms, though we don't do attorneys, but the things that are around those. So this is where really the meat of the presentation, and maybe these are not things that you can put up anymore. I didn't think about that until after the point. But a lot of staffing agencies. So if you call them up and you say, I need an accountant, for example, okay? What they do is they go on to Indeed or any other various, resume searching, and, they have $100 a month, and they do a search just like you would have done, okay? And then they'll call people and see if they're just vaguely interested in the position, because they don't want to spend a lot of time on it. Time is money. So they'll collect 30, 25, 20, doesn't matter. That's a lot of resumes. And then they send it over to you. I call it the shotgun approach. All right, so they dump 20 people on top of you. And now you're sitting on your desk, it's Friday afternoon, you get 20 resumes, and now you're doing this person's job for them. Because now they're gonna come back to you and say, they want you to come back to them and say, okay, I like these 5. So now they call those 5 up and they actually do a proper interview or have a proper conversation. I refuse to do that. That is not my method. I've been doing this for 12 years, mostly in the engineering field. This is outside of my training, but it's the same method. What I do is what I call like the sniper approach. I want to talk to you. I really want to find out what you guys need, and it's not just here's a job description. It's finding out really what your culture is, what you're looking for, because it doesn't. Not everybody works in the same environment. Not everybody's motivations are the same. I have a client in Clifton Park. They have massage Fridays. Okay, maybe the women would love that. Maybe some of the guys would love it. I don't know. But I know as a manager, it would drive me nuts to know that Tim is going over to get a massage, and it's his right to do that, and he has a hand in me in this report or that report. Those types of things would drive me nuts. They do a lot of soft trainings and things like that. I wouldn't be the right person to work at that place. I know that about myself, and that's how you have to figure out, that's just an example of how you have to figure out somebody's culture at their company and figure out what works for them, and then really find people that want to work in that. I don't think I would survive at Google. I mean, there were just too many distractions. It would just drive me nuts. So at any rate, that's kind of how we try to place people, figure out what the culture of the job is, of the environment they're going to work in, and then go from there. Obviously, we have to know the requirements of the job, and then furthermore, we like to follow up with our people, even if they're direct hires. If the company will allow us to talk to that person at a month, at 6 months, just to figure out how their transition into the company was, things that we could have done better during the initial paperwork phases, things that maybe the company that they worked for could do better, and then we share that with the employer if they're interested, and they allow us to contact their employees afterwards. So these are, we are in the startup phase. I've made like maybe 1 or 2 sales actually through this company. That's about it at this point. It's certainly not self-sustained at this moment. I do have a couple other ventures that are similar that are self-sustained. But these are pretty much the issues that I see in our company, and that is building pools of qualified professionals. I'm not a big fan of Indeed and those types of things. I've lived on personal references, knowing the people that I sell, and things like that. But so that's step one, is we need to build a little bit more pools of professionals, and then effective and cost-efficient advertising. Sorry, there's a typo there. I don't think it does a whole lot of good to advertise, obviously, in the wrong spots. Most of the flyers that show up at my house go in the garbage, and a lot of the email that comes in that I don't recognize goes in the garbage. So it's finding out where we should be placing our ads, what types of ads we should be placing. And it's got to be twofold. We got to advertise to the end customers, the people like yourselves that may be hiring, and also to the candidates that are looking for jobs. So those are the issues that we currently have. And that's pretty much professional services in a, tried to keep it under 10 minutes here. I may have blown through it in 5. But I had a lot to say, and then I tried to cut it down because he said it was 10 minutes. So this is everything that I see. This is when I think of a startup, is that you're going to have a lot of problems, and you have to figure out how to really find an opportunity in every one of those problems. And you have to be willing to learn, and you have to want to learn almost every day. If you don't learn something every day as the president of your little company or the CFO of your little company or whatever, companies like my competitors, Kelly Services, things like that, they have armies of attorneys. They have armies of marketing folks. They have armies. So if you're not willing to get up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning and work probably until 6, 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, you're probably going to have a hard time. And that's the phase that we're in right now. And hopefully at some point we'll be able to start our 9 to 5 too. But I'll take any questions that you guys have.